Hello students. Now next topic is solubility. What is solubility? Solubility of a substance is the maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a given temperature. The maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a given temperature is called solubility. Now, it depends upon the nature of the solute and solvent as well as on temperature and pressure. Now, solubility of solid in liquid. Every solid will not dissolve in a given liquid. For example, sodium chloride and sugar, they readily dissolve in water. But naphthalene and anthracene, they will not dissolve in water. On the other hand, naphthalene and anthracene, they dissolve readily in benzene. Actually, the like dissolves like. Here, water is a polar solvent, so it dissolves polar compounds. Whereas naphthalene, anthracene, these are organic compounds. They do not have any polarity in the bonds, so they dissolve in organic solvent like benzene. Now, what are polar solvents or polar compounds? For example, water. Water contains hydrogen and oxygen bonds. Now, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so the bond pair of electrons are attracted by oxygen. So electron cloud is more towards the oxygen atom than towards hydrogen atom. Therefore, this hydrogen develops a partial positive charge and this oxygen develops a partial negative charge. So this oxygen hydrogen bond develops a polarity, means it has a negative and a positive pole. So this kind of solvent, polar solvent, will dissolve sodium chloride and sugar, but benzene, in benzene there are carbon-carbon bonds and carbon-hydrogen bonds, and the electronegativity difference between carbon and hydrogen is not sufficient enough to cause polarity in the bond, because of which these bonds are non-polar, and these non-polar solvents will dissolve compounds, organic compounds like naphthalene and anthracene. So, it is observed that polar solutes dissolve in polar solvents and non-polar solutes in non-polar solvents. In general, we may say that a solute dissolves in a solvent if intermolecular interactions are similar in the two, or we may say like dissolves like. Now, when a solid is added to a solvent, some of the solute dissolves and its concentration increases in the solution. That is, the concentration of solute in the solution increases. This process is known as dissolution. But on further addition of solute, if we continue to add the solute in this given solution at a given temperature, then some solute particles in solution collide with the solid solute particles and get separated out of the solution. This process is known as crystallization. Then a stage is reached when the process of dissolution and process of crystallization take place at the same rate. What happens under such conditions? The number of solute particles going into solution will be equal to the solute particles separating out of the solution. That is, rate of dissolution is same as the rate of crystallization and a state of dynamic equilibrium is reached. And at this stage, the amount of solute present in solution at a given temperature is its solubility. So again, when we keep adding solute to a solvent, initially it will dissolve and then a stage will come when no more solute dissolves in that solution and crystallization starts taking place. So at a particular temperature in a given amount of solvent, some fixed amount of solute dissolves, after which no more dissolution takes place. Instead, an equilibrium is reached where dissolution and crystallization take place at the same rate, and at this point the concentration of solute in that solution is called its solubility.